Hi, and welcome to another segment of To Tell the Truth. Today we've got a terrific panel with us, and we've got a terrific guest. Let me speak no further, and let's have our guests. Number 3, what is your name, please?
My name is Daniel L. Conklin.
Number 2, what is your name, please?
My name is Daniel L. Conklin.
Number 1, what is your name, please?
My name is Daniel L. Conklin.
Thank you. Please sit down. I, Daniel L. Conklin, am a member of the CPAC group, recently promoted. I've been through troubled times when BISAN was canceled and through the divestiture of the Bell system. I am an avid part of the New York Telephone Bank's conversion, and I am the only original remaining member of the CPAC group. Panelists, let's take a look who we have here today. Orson,
Hey, you okay?
how you doing?
Oh, good. It sounds like a wild bunch of guys back here.
Fantastic. What about you, Peggy?
Fine, how are you?
I'm fine. Kitty, how you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. Glad to be here.
Good. Okay, why don't we start with the questions? Orson, you want to go first?
Sure. Number 3. Who is George Siddons, and what is his telephone number?
George is my hairdresser, and his telephone number is 456-3821.
Number 2, same question, please. Who's George Siddons, and what is his telephone number?
No, George Siddons is the engineer on the railroad train that I take to New York Telephone when I'm over there for meetings. And his phone number is 555-1212.
Okay.
Of course, that area code is 212.
Okay. Good. Number 1, how old are you?
Oh, I usually don't answer that. How old am I? I'm 34.
Number 2, same question. How old are
The age is 38.
New to the bank's not listed.
Okay, fine. That concludes my questioning. I'm pretty satisfied.
Peggy, why don't you go?
Okay, number 2, how many MRs did New York Telephone write in 1983?
How many MRs in 1973, did you say?
1983.
83. I believe the number was 3 or 4. It was a good year.
3 or 4. Number 3,
Just one. I mean, we ran perfect that year. Banks had no problems. Everything worked fine. Just one MR. An enhancement, too.
number 2 again. What was the most embarrassing moment of your life?
Well, actually, it's more than one moment. I had to do with many years ago. I had a roommate in my office. The fellow's name was Mr. Jones, Royce Jones. And I had the habit of going home for lunch. And Mr. Jones used to measure my tie prior to me going home for lunch, and then would check it on the way back.
Number 1, same question. The most embarrassing moment in your life?
It would have to be at Mike Kaplan's party. I dressed up. No one's going to be seeing this, are they? I dressed up like in a dress.
Excuse me, could you speak up?
In a dress.
A dress?
I wore a dress. Yes.
You wore a dress. Okay, thank you. Number 3, what was the resolution on the MR New York?
34216.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Actually, that was
Number 1.
it was a disk drive problem. It was deferred, but not to New York 83-17203. It was deferred to. It turned out to be a disk drive problem, but.
Okay. Number 2, what does the L stand for in Daniel L. Conklin?
The L stands for Lucy.
Lucy. Number 1.
I've always tried to keep this a secret. But can we go on to another question?
Number 3, do you have an answer to that question?
Lips.
Lips?
Yes.
Thank you, that's all for my questions.
Kitty, why don't you start your questions?
Okay, number 2, how did you get the name Sugar Lips?
Well, that's rather a long story, but it really has to do with my fondness for is there a bird in here or something? What is?
What was that?
Excuse me, may I go on?
Sure, please go on.
My fondness for peppermint candy.
Okay, number one. How did you get the name Sugar Lips?
My wife gave that to me on our honeymoon.
Okay, number 3. Could you please tell me what this sign means to you?
That's an old dating service we used to have, and that was when we used to test it out. You know, you'd send one message in, and somebody else would send another message in, and we'd switch them for you.
Sort of like a dating network.
Yeah.
Number 2?
No, I don't believe that was the answer at all. This had to have something to do with New York Telephone, because I think they had one of those laboratories at New York Telephone, and they used it for work on monkeys. They did a lot of work with monkeys.
Thank you. Number 3. Could you sing a few lines of the song that you wrote for Roz and Bill's promotion?
I never wrote a song for Ross. Bill who? I never wrote a song.
Number 1.
Hello, Rossi. Hello, Billy. This. Yeah, I forgot the rest.
That's fine, thank you very much. Number 2. Could you tell me what is the two-step access issue?
Number 1. I can't see a Bell Labs employee wearing a tie like that to work. It just doesn't suit their environment. Number 3, I didn't like his answer to what L stands for, lips. I can't imagine anybody having a middle name with lips. So based on his answer to the FEP access issue and a couple other questions, I'm going with number 2.
Very good. Peggy, who did you vote for?
Well, this was a very tough decision, but based on his knowledge of the bank's network at New York Telephone, I voted for number 3.
And Kitty, who did you vote for?
Well, this is a tough decision for me also, but I voted for number 2, basically because number 1 didn't convince me and number 3 didn't know the song.
Very good. Will the real Dan Conklin please stand up? Dan, would you like to meet the members of the panel
No, I
here?
really have an MR I need to resolve. I gotta become.
Okay, Dan. Thank you very much for coming. I know you're busy. Number 2, what is your real name and what do you do?
My name is Dennis Desmond, and I am on top of all the banks and data kit issues in the PLPM organization.
Very good. And number 3, what is your real name and what do you